Right. Good morning, everyone. Right. We are meeting today. Right. We want to continue with our discussions on revision exercises. Today, we are going to look at civil drawing. We are going to look at the floor plan. It's a revision exercise. We now want to iron out all those aspects of our revision in terms of making sure that you are prepared for the exams. Like I said, the content is on civil drawing. We are looking at the floor plan, right? It's question 4 of paper 1, revision exercise, past exam paper of 2019. Right, we are looking at approaches and applications so that you'll be able to do the same thing as well on your own. As always, I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, I do and understand. The thrust is to make sure that you are able to do it on your own, be able to apply the concepts that we are talking about now, and be as independent as possible. So let's pay attention and listen and make sure that we are able to do these tasks on our own. Thank you. Enjoy the lesson. Right, this is what we have today. Right, we have got a floor plan. We want to complete the floor plan by looking at the following. Right, it's question number 4, civil drawing. The given information, the incomplete north elevation. Right, if we bring this one like that. Right, so this is the incomplete north elevation. Remember, the north point is pointing like this. So when we are looking from this side, this will be our left side, which will be that, and this will be our right side, which will be that. But for today, we are going to look at the floor plan. But of course, we need to understand what the question is all about in its complete sense. North elevation of a self-contained flatlet showing the walls, the sliding door, and the windows, the window openings, the roof, and the labels. The incomplete floor plan showing the walls, steps, position of the doors, windows, fixtures, and electrical layout. A schematic diagram of the roof truss for roof A and roof nodes. Remember, when they talk about schematic, right, they are talking about the line diagram with regards to the presentation of the roof. Room designations and floor finishes, right? We would get the room designations, room allocations, right? Which room has been allocated for what function? We have got the lounge, that is the function that is allocated to that particular room, and that is referred to as a room designation. The kitchen, the bedroom, as well as the bathroom. The incomplete foundation and external wall detail, right? When we are talking about this, we are talking about the information that is provided here, right? That is about the incomplete foundation. A window and door schedule, right? That is also information that we find here. Right. So when we need a window, when we need a door, we would come to this information and take from this information as well. A table of roof components, right? A table of roof components is found here, right? These are the roof components. We have got a roof cap and ridge cover. We have got the gutter. We have got the fascia board. We have got also the barge board like that. So all this information will be handy when we need it. A table of electrical symbols. We have got the table of electrical symbols. Right, just on the electrical symbols, we can also take note of this. Right, number one, it's a one-way switch and it's a single pole. Right, so this will be our number one, right? So that when we do this, we should be able to refer. Number two, it's a one-way switch, double pole, right? We need one which has got two. This is one pole, this is double, this is triple pole. So we have got number two there. Then a fluorescent light, 3 by 40 watts, right? So we have got this. The only thing that would change where it says number, you are going to write 3 by 40 watts. Then a wall-mounted light, right? This is our wall-mounted light. We shall use it. Right, a ceiling light, right, that's number 5. That's our ceiling light. A switched socket outlet, right? This is a switched socket outlet, like that, which should be attached to the wall. Then a socket outlet, it's just a socket outlet, which is number 7. Right, a distribution board, which is number 8. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are the elements that would require. Right, so this one is a two-way switch. This one is a one-way switch, but triple pole. This one is a dimmer for controlling the light intensity. This one is electrical meter and the earth leakage as well. Right, so electrical meter and the earth leakage. Right, okay. The incomplete floor plan of the new self-contained flatlet, right, we have got that, drawn to scale 1:50, and the incomplete foundation and break line for the detailed section, drawn to scale 1:20 on page 6. So if we go to page 6, right, we have got that is the incomplete section, the break line for that, the incomplete floor plan. That's what we are going to focus on today. Right, we want to focus by completing this one in terms of the work that has to be done. Right, instructions: using the given incomplete floor plan, draw in first angle orthographic projection to scale 1:50 the following views of the self-contained flatlet, the complete floor plan. Right, add the following features to the drawing: all the doors and windows. We have got this space for the doors, for the windows. Right, so we've got 1, 2, and 3. All those are windows that we want to define. Right, then we've got doors, and also the door there. Right, so let's start with the windows, okay? Right, if we look at this, we go to our information paper, right? You bring it here. We have got window 1. Window 1 is 1,500 in terms of size. So 1,500 divided by 50. Right, we are going to get 30 if we don't have a scale rule. So we'll measure from here to there 50 millimeters, 30 millimeters in terms of the scaled size. So from here to there, which we go, when we go to our floor plan, we need to measure that. Let's just check if the space that we have, right, it's much bigger. So what you are going to do is this, just draw a faint line like that. Then measure from here to there, 30. You mark a point. Then you do this. Right. You will see that there is a gap that is left. So what you do is you extend this line to that, okay, to close that gap. Then you measure 50 millimeters, 50 divided by 50, you would get 1 millimeter in terms of the external seal extension. You do this. And we can now close this. But once we have done that, we can now insert the frame right in the middle of the wall. The frame is normally 1 millimeter, which translates to 50, okay? Right, and we don't just get this one, we get that information from here. Door knot, all frames are 50 millimeters thick. So we take that, then we measure 1 millimeter, like this. There you go. We have got now the frame in position. So when they are checking your work, they want to see whether the distance from here to there is equal to 1,500, which is 30 millimeters to scale, whether these two lines, which are 1 millimeter apart, are right in the middle of the wall, not in the middle of this space, right in the middle of the wall, like that. Whether you have also measured from here to there, 1 millimeter, which is equal to 50 millimeters in terms of the extension. So if that is correct, you would find that you would get half a mark, half a mark, half a mark, half a mark, which is 2 marks altogether for just drawing this. Right, we come to this other window. Right, again, it's window 1, right, from here to there. Right, we can just mark 1. Like this. Right, then we measure 30 millimeters. When we do this, right, as you can see, right, there is a gap which is left. We need to close that gap like that. Unfortunately, this is also part of the roof line, which is in line with the walls, right? But you need to indicate, right, that you have measured the true size of that one, right? Then from there, the 1 millimeter extension with regards to the external seal. Then we need to insert the frame right in the middle of the wall. So we can start. With experience, you can estimate this to be 1 millimeter, like this. Right. So now you also have got the window, which is window 1 in position like that. Then we also have got another window here, okay? Right, that is window number 2. Window number 2 is, the width is 800. So we need to say 800 divided by 50, we get 16. But then we measure 16 from here. Again, it leaves a small little gap, right? Then we close that gap. Like that. 1 millimeter extension for the seal. And then right in the middle. Right. So we have got the windows in position, right? We have got the windows in position. We've got 1, 2, and 3. These are the windows that we require. Then once we have done that, we now can go on and establish the doors. Right. But before you do that, you need to take note of the position of the switches. Okay. So let's bring back this paper. All right. That's the one-way switch, right, which is going to be here, right? The other one is going to be there. Then it's going to be here as well. Then also there, right? Now, this is important for you to do that so that you know as you open this door, it has to swing like that. And this one, it has to swing like that. This one, it doesn't matter because it's outside. This is also a sliding door. It will not affect the position of the sliding door. Right. So, but this one and that one, we need to take note of the position of the switch. Right. So I can as well define the position of the switch. Right, like here. Draw small circle like this. Then the other one would come here. Right. And I also have got another one here. Right. I need another one there. Right, even though you haven't completed with regards to the doors, right, you need this to position the switch, right? The switch are not complete as yet, but that would you would know. This is where I'm going to have a switch, this is where I'm going to have a switch, this is where I'm going to have a switch, and also here. It's important for door positioning and how it would open. So when it is like this, we are going to do this, right? Faint line, then we close this part like that. Right, you close from here to there. Right, you take your canvas, stand at this point. Stand at this point and describe an arc. Then you straighten this one and you complete the detail. Right. So you are going to stand at this point, connect with that one, swing to the first line, then straighten it like that. Then you complete, you have got your door. Right. Then we also have got this one. If the switch is here, the idea is to make sure that as you access or enter a room, you should be able to access the switch immediately, not to turn around the door and access it. Right, so I'm going to draw 2 lines here, faint line like that. Then at this point, connect and make this one dark, like that. Stand here, open to this, and describe an arc. Then straighten this one. And we can complete this. There you go. Right. So we have got our door in position leading into number three. Number three, that's the bedroom. So we have got the bedroom area there. Then we have got this one. Right. Now, what is critical also to consider here is the position of the water closet. Right, we have got our water closet there, which is our toilet. So what we want is to make sure that we open in such a way that it would maintain a bit of privacy, right, with regards to the water closet. So I'm going to open it like this, swing it like that. So a faint line and another faint line like that. We close this part. Stand here, open to that. And describe impact. Close there, right, straighten that. Then make it a bit darker. There you go. Right. So you have got that door in position. The marking is this part and that, this part and that part, this part and that part. Okay. Right. So we have got the doors and the windows in position, but we still have got another door which is here, right? Which is our sliding door. Right. Normally, what I would urge you to do, you find the center first, and you can do this by basically creating two metal lines like that. There you go. Right, you now have got the center. Right. The thickness of the door frame, right, is always with regards to the sliding door, also 50 millimeters. So which means either side, we need to measure 1 millimeter, 1 millimeter. So 1 millimeter either side of the center line, 1 millimeter like this. Draw a faint line. Draw another faint line like that. So we should have 1, 2, and 3 lines. But we can also miter there to get the midpoint. This. Then take this one down. So we have now the halfway point, okay? Let's look at this, right? It's opening from left to right. So what it means is that we can come here. Right. Make this one the fixed part or the fixed panel. I'm going to make this one there. And close here like this. Right. So that is the fixed panel. Right. There are so many ways that we can use to illustrate the door. Right. I'm going to measure from here to there 5 millimeters and also measure from here to there 5 millimeters like this. Right. Then on the other panel, this is what you are going to do. Now you have got this one is your fixed panel, it doesn't move. This one is the moving panel, right? I've left a gap of 5 millimeters here and also extended this one 5 millimeters, okay? This is also a convention with regards to the representation of a sliding door. The part which does not move, right, is noted as X, like that, and the part which moves is noted as O, right? And apart from that, you also need to indicate with an arrowhead, just darken one end like that, that this door is opening from left to right. It's opening from left to right, and there should also be a line from here to there, which is already given, okay? And you'll find that if you do this, you'll get all your marks. Remember, in some cases, let me just illustrate again. Right, you can also have a scenario like this. You have this is the space for the sliding door. I'm going to, you found the center like that, you measured 50 millimeters. You also measured 50 millimeters like this, right? So this is the midpoint, right? In some cases, you find that you just need to make this dark, and make this one dark as well, and also make this one dark, right? Create a line like that. Then you indicate by way of an arrowhead like that to say this is your, right? This is opening from left to right. This is option number 1, right? Remember, we've already talked about the other one. This line is needed, right, for stepping up and stepping down, right? Then you also have got option number 2. Right, center line. You have that. You have that. Right. You'll find that you can just alternate slightly, right, so that they are not at the same level. You have this. This is also another way of showing a sliding door as well, okay? Right, but the one that I described, right, which is again, right, you find this, you find that, you find also that, right, you find the midpoint, right, you outline that which you want as your fix, and you label this one X, right? You measure from here to there, say 10 millimeters, you also come here and measure 10 millimeters, you extend like that, you extend like that, you label this one O, that is the moving part, and you also indicate, right, it's from left to right, and this line has to be there, right? That's your break line, that's your break line, like that. This is hatching to show that this is a wall. So this is another way of showing a sliding door as well, right? So you can use any one of the 3 there, but of course I prefer this one. It is illustrative. It shows exactly how the sliding door would operate, right? If I push from this end, right, this one will come and fit in this position, thereby closing the door, okay? All right, so we have got that. Right, the next thing that we want, now that we have got the doors and the windows, right, the next thing that we want is about the fixtures as indicated by the abbreviations. So we need to go to the abbreviations with regards to our information paper. Bring it here like that. Right, we have got here the wash basin. What is the size of the wash basin? We come here, right, it's 500 by 300. Okay, remember we are simply going to draw to represent that one is a drawn symbol. We are not going to provide all the details. Then we have got a water closet, right? It's 400 max by 650, okay? Then we have got a bathtub, which is here, which is 700 by 1,700, okay? But let's start with the bathtub, 700 by 1,700, 1,700 divided by 50. But we are going to get 34. So we are going to measure from here to there, 34. Then a faint line like that. Then we have got 700 divided by 50. But if you have got a scale rule, you don't need this divided or multiplying or something like that. You simply make use of the scale. Then we have that. We can now outline from here to there and also outline from here to there. Right, that is the extent of our bathtub. Right, with regards to our bathtub, there's a small little drain. Right, remember the drain is always, right, diameter 50. Right, I'm going to use this one. It's much bigger, but just to illustrate and for it to just be neat. Right, so that is representing the drain pipe. So you have got 1, 2, and 3. These are the details that will be marked for you. Right, then we have got the basin, it's 500, which would translate to 10. So I'm going to measure 10 millimeters here. Right, like this. Then 300, which should be 6. We close this. There you go. Right, so we have got the basin in position. Right, and also the drain is right in the middle. But like I said, this is much bigger. Right, it should be roughly about diameter 1 millimeter in terms of the drain, because it's 50 divided by 50. But I'm just showing you the position like that. Right, then what's left now, right, is the position of the water closet, okay? Right, so the water closet is somewhere here. But remember, you need to position it in such a way that you have got sufficient activity space or working space. So I'm going to mitre, right, get the midpoint, which is here, and 400 divided by, which is 8. So I'm going to measure 4 millimeters this side, and also 4 millimeters that side. There you go. Then 650. That's 13. Measure 13 from here to there. Outline this. So what it means, from here to there, that's 800. From here to there, that's 650 to scale. The scale is 1:50. Then we also need 200, which is from here to there. Right, okay, let me show you where we are getting that 200. We said from here to there, that's 650. Then we have got that 200 that we require. Right, we are going to get 4. We measure 4. Now we have got our water closet in there. So it's 1, 2, and 3. These are the fixtures that we find in the bathroom, okay? Right, let's now look for the sink. Right, it's here, and it's supposed to be located there, right, on the left-hand side, right? And if we look at the length, it's 900, and the width is 500, okay? Right, 500 would translate to 10, right? So, but what we need to do first, right, with regards to the width, right, we are going to miter this first, like that, so that we find the center. Right, so this is what we refer to as getting the answer graphically by construction. Then we measure 5 either side, 5 millimeters and 5 millimeters. Now, the 10 millimeters is representing 500. So we do this. And we also do that, okay? Then we now have got the distance from here to there, which is 500, 900, and 50, we get 80. So we measure from here to there, 18. Everything should be drawn to scale, right? Then we do this, right? We have that. That is the position of our sink, right? If we check from the information that is provided with regards to the sink, right, we see that there's 400 and also 400 there. Normally this is left as 50 millimeters, okay? Right, so 50 would translate to 1 millimeter. So we need to measure, right, from here to there, 1 millimeter, which is 50. Like that. Take this one up. Then if that is 1 millimeter, we can just miter there so that we are left with 400. Then we take this like that. Like that. We can also miter this one to make it 4 by 4, which is already there. We take this one down, and we close. That way, we have now defined the bowel in terms of our sink. Right, the only thing that is required now is the drain. I'm going to just do this freehand like that. Right, okay, because it should be diameter 1. Right, I've just seen now, if we continue with this one, it will be out of proportion in terms of the sign. Okay, so when you don't have the circle template diameter 1, right, you can just do it nicely freehand like that. Right, okay. Right, so in terms of what we have done, okay, let me just go back here. Right, we did all the windows and the doors, we did the fixtures. Right, what is left now are the electrical installations or fittings as indicated by the numbers, okay? Right, already we have got this, right, as part of our electrical fittings. I'm going to do this. Turn this facing outward, slightly offset. So that is one of our, we also have got this. Turn it slightly, like that. That's a switch. We also have got this. This one is a two, no, it says one-way switch, but double pole. So you need two lines like that. So that is that switch, okay? But we also have got one here. And we also turn like that. This is lighting the bathroom. Let's see if we've got other ones. Right, here we have got number 6. Number 6 is, it's our switched socket. So we need one there, we need one there, and another one here. Right, then there is our distribution board, okay? We take this. Going to do this. Also need another one here. And also in the bedroom. Right, there are 3. Right, so we've got 1, 2, and 3. Right, there are 3 in terms of the switched sockets. Right, I'm going to draw right through the center line like this. You also do the same. And like this. But if we just leave it like this, it's just a socket outlet, but we need it switched. Remember the symbol for a switch. Right, so we can do it here, but slightly offset the center. Then you turn outward like that. There you go. We have got our switched socket. Also do the same, slightly offset. And so we take it like this. But you also have got a switched socket. Like that. We also have got a switched socket like that. Right. So in terms of the sockets, we've got 1, 2, and 3. Right. So those are the ones that we are able to see with regards to this. Right. 1 in the lounge living area, which is the lounge. then one in the kitchen and one in the bedroom. Right, that's about that. Right, then we have got the distribution board. Right, the size is not given, but just make sure that you are able to draw it, leaving a small little gap so that we are able to see this triangle, this rectangle like this, right, representing the distribution board. Okay. Now we are done with regards to the sockets, as well as the distribution board, as well as the switches. Right. The next thing that we want are the light outputs. Right. We have got the ceiling light here. We have got the ceiling light there. We have got the ceiling light there. And this is how we do that. Right. Just a faint line just to help you see where you are going to draw. But very faint. We also need one here. Like that. Then in the kitchen, we need a fluorescent light. We are going to do this. Right, it says 3 by 40 watts. Don't forget to write this information. 3 by 40 watts. Do not write any by 40 watts, okay? The actual number of the fluorescent tubes which are here, right? Those are the ones which need to be written. So 3 by 40 watts, okay? Right, so you have got the switch, you have got the output point, and you have got the number in terms of those fluorescent tubes. Right, then you take your 45 degrees set square via the center, draw a line like this, make it dark, and also through the center, you also draw another one like this. Right, that X is the one which is required. You do the same this side. Like I said, that faint circle is just to guide you. Right, okay. Right, so what should be pronounced is that X, and that X. The small circle is just there to guide you. Right, if we check, we also see that here, right, just by the sliding door or by the entry point, we also have got a wall-mounted light, right? Remember, this is the symbol for the wall-mounted light. Once again, just leave a small gap. Like this. Then at 45 degrees, draw a line. And on the other end, we also draw a line like that. So you have got a wall-mounted light, which is here. Right. The next thing is to connect from the switch to the power output point, like that. That is the wiring, and that is also the wiring. Right. We can also do this like that. Right. Connect this one to there, like that, and the other one. Right. So this is what we refer to as wiring in electrical installation, right, with regards to this question. Right. So when you are marked, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, 13, 14, 15, then 16, 17, 18, 19, 19 we elect with 1, and 20, which is the distribution board, which is 10 marks. Right. The next thing that we want to look at, according to, right, all the hatching details, then the labels, okay? So I'm going to hatch. Whenever there is a wall, it has to be hatched as well. Also need this. Right, okay. So the hatching is done in terms of the wall. Right, the next thing that we want to do is to provide the labels. Right, you are not going to struggle with regards to the labels. You take this from the room designations, right, which is this information we find here, okay? Right, so we have got the lounge, which is number 1, right? If we check, that's number 1, that's the lounge, right? And the type of finish in terms of the floor finish is the carpet, right? Then we've got the kitchen, the tiles. The kitchen is number 2. Then we've got the bedroom, which is number 3, which is also carpet. We've got the bathroom, which is tiles as well, right? So we are going to just create some guidelines. Right, it's already there. Presentation is critical in terms of EGD. Make sure your work is presentable, okay? So that anyone who is looking at your work will be interested to see what you have done. Right, so we are going to write here, bedroom. Right, and the floor finish, that's carpet. Right, we are also going to write kitchen. And its tiles. Right, we have got the lounge. It's carpet. Then we've got the bathroom. Again, it's tiles. Like that. Right. If you do this in an exam, you are guaranteed of getting all those marks, which is 35 out of 94. Remember, this question is critical, right? It is the major question in paper 1. If you get to paper 2, also question number 4 is the major question as well. Right, so I hope you manage to get something out of this, and you should be able to relate what we have done, right, on your own, so that you have got the application part of it. Thank you. When we meet again, we are going to look at the sectional elevation of the same exercise right in the next lesson, so that we would be able to say fully that in terms of the floor plan, in terms of the section, right, if we get time, we can also conclude by looking at the elevation, which is the incomplete north elevation. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.